Blimey. Who's this good-looking rooster?
There we go. Now I can hear.
I must say, I have the most random beer.
A Star Wars beer.
I don't know. It's kind of awesome. It's called killersprocket.com.au, and it's a session rye IPA.
Interesting.
But it has like a cool, funky kind of like, almost looks like a kind of Gears of War / fantasy.
Yeah, it's like it looks a bit like Black Widow, the
Ghost. No,
or
Ghost from the
Ant-Man movie. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I'm just rocking the usual today. The wife's had me working in the garden.
Oh, that's nice. Is that why you got a bit of a tan going?
Oh, this beautiful tan's from England still.
That is the most random thing you could ever say. Where do you live? Oh, I live in New Zealand. Tell us about the weather. And then you're like, where'd you get your tan from? New Zealand? No, England. Like, what?
Nah, England. No.
That just sounds...
Well, to be fair though, we've had some really weird weather the last couple of days, sort of thing. It's been on and off. Either it's been horrifically tipping it down, which is great for my lawn. I'll be honest, not complaining at all. It's really good for the lawn. But then again, it's like actually having a nice sunny day, so we can actually crack on with some jobs outside. Is quite good as well, sort of thing. So
that is unusual.
Good.
It's a session rye IPA, so it's made from rye. It's quite nice.
A rye IPA. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll just back it. What are you snacking on? It's supposed to be a professional podcast. This.
They're called Chappies.
Chappies.
I've never heard of them. They've got like these massive baskets out the front of the bottle shop, like literally outside my door. And they were just like, yeah, we're just selling them there, like $2 each. I was like, I think I feel like some Chappies.
Okay, for $2, I'll take that.
That's what I was.
Yeah, why not?
I was going to say, so they're actually quite nice. And unfortunately, I find with a lot of these sort of like fancy chips, they're like kind of like, I don't know if you guys have Copper Kettle there, but they're really thick.
Yeah, we got Copper.
And they just, for me, they just kind of make me feel a bit like, ugh.
No, Copper Kettles are really thin.
Not here, they're not.
Here they are.
Copper Kettle have like a thick one. The thins are really thin, like they're almost delicate.
I've never heard a thick Copper Kettle. Oh my god, we're really going to discuss Copper Kettle crisps. Oh god, we're crisp connoisseurs all of a sudden.
Dorks Down Under.
Right, anyway, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dorks Down Under, Season 2, Episode 31, and if it's not 31, it is 31 now.
Okay, we're changing it. Yeah, no, that was a weird thing. So for anybody that's up to this episode, obviously you watched those 3 episodes that we did about what Jordan's been up to. So this
I've even forgotten some stuff I didn't mention.
Oh, yeah, really? Jesus Christ. So... It's kind of bizarre.
Right. Anyway, yeah, as you say.
That's bizarre. So yeah, so that was all filmed in one day, so that's kind of thrown us completely.
Yes, we recorded several episodes in one day, and we won't be doing that again, because, God, my brain was fried afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, my brain was done. Although I do think having, like, 5 beers didn't help that fact either, I'll be honest. But anyway, for those of you who do follow us, we are available on all good podcast websites. You can also find us available on social medias on Twitter and TikTok at Dorks Down Under. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If we aren't available on your preferred podcast method, please let us know. Either DM us or anything else. Or you could send it in a bag of chips towards Dez, and he will eventually eat his way to it, and that'll be fine.
I'm sorry, I had to mute my microphone because they're so crunchy. They're actually really good. For $1.99, I'm like, I have won the chip game. Thank you, Chappie.
I think you have won the chip game. To be fair, I'm off crisps at the moment. Obviously, because I was gorging myself on proper walkers and everything else while I was on holiday.
Yeah,
as well as my county crisps. I was having my county crisps that I could only get from my homeland. Cheese XLs, you can only get them from England. You can only get them from one county in the entire of England.
That shocks me, man.
What I've been eating though is I've been eating this serious. Have you ever heard seriously good popcorn?
No.
It's this less sugar popcorn. So obviously it's great for me while I'm on a health.
This sounds really bad, but popcorn doesn't have sugar in it, except for the natural occurring sugars that happen in corn.
Well, you mean apart from all the sugar that they put on top to make it sweet?
They put sugar. You just put salt.
Oh, absolutely not.
Popcorn is not a sweet thing. It's a savoury thing.
Do you know what? That's the one thing that I enjoyed about the entire Barbie movie when we went to see it with my wife, is the fact that we rocked up and she said, "Would you like popcorn?" My brain suddenly screamed out, "We get normal popcorn here, which is sweet popcorn," and I was like, "Yes." that is the one good thing about that
sweet
entire movie.
popcorn. That just.
Oh.
I don't even remember getting sweet popcorn when I was in the UK.
All standard popcorn is sweet. You have to ask if you want it salty or half and half. Sort of thing. If you go to the cinema in the UK and because it's the reason what confused me the first time I went to the cinema in New Zealand, and we got popcorn, and I took a massive handful and stuck it in my mouth, and I was like, "Why is half of this sweet and half of it's really salty?" And she's like, "Oh, I think that's the standard here. I think it's sweet and salted as standard." I'm like,
I've never ever heard of sweet popcorn.
How have you never heard of sweet popcorn?
Because everything, it just comes with salted. Either comes buttered or salted.
Oh no!
Or as Cherish gets the microwavable popcorn that, thank God, we haven't gotten probably about 8 years. She get the triple buttered one that you just chuck in the microwave. So it's these little packets, and you unfold them and then you bung them in the microwave.
Yeah,
and they
I know
pop.
what they're like. Yeah.
But they're called triple butter. The problem is I don't know what they do. Like, they must honestly get the bag, put all the butter here, fold like this, and then when it opens up, because this bit has so much butter to the point where you're like, I can feel my arteries clogging, and then the rest is just plain.
Oh my god!
I know.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of microwavable popcorn, those sort of things. Anyway, I'm snacking on seriously good popcorn. The caramel one, really good, and it's like really less in calories than buying like Butterkiss or whatever I can buy.
You know what would also be just actually having the proper salted popcorn, not this crap stuff.
Salted popcorn tastes rank. Look, I'm doing well, okay. Bear in mind, I'm giving up most of my chocolate snacks. I'm now down to eating almonds every day.
I like almonds. Almonds are nice.
I know, but I really miss chocolate. I really do. I just want chocolate. That's the worst bit. I've also discovered the joys of chocolate orange Cadbury's chocolate buttons.
Oh, I must say,
my God.
I used to love Tetley's chocolate orange.
So good.
Every Christmas we used to get a Tetley's chocolate orange, and that used to be my thing. And I don't care. It's amazing.
I still buy because Warehouse sell them every Christmas. So I go down and I get one each. She gets one for her stocking. I get one for my stocking. But when we were in the UK, we discovered Cadbury's have released their chocolate buttons, but they're chocolate orange flavour. And oh my god.
I have heaps of people that pay me out for that, but I love chocolate orange. But then what the weirdest thing is as a kid, all my friends used to eat Jaffas, which are pretty much chocolate orange.
Right. Can I just say, Jaffas are weird, man. I know I'm coming from the place that invented the Jaffa cake, which is very different. Very different.
I love those Jaffa cakes.
Jaffa cakes, man, you can't go wrong with Jaffa cakes.
They're the little ones, with the little chocolate on the top, with a little bit of the thing and the sponge.
Are you talking about the mini ones? The mini ones or the normal size?
They're about that big. So they're not. So for anybody out there, they're kind of like they're more like a cookie than a cake. So for anybody listening, they're kind of almost like what looks like a sponge, kind of like biscuit, probably about the size of a beer can. Circumference of a beer can.
It's smaller than that, yeah.
And then it has some chocolate on top, and then underneath the chocolate it has like almost this orange marmalade.
Marmalade jelly.
Yeah, and we can get it here, I know, but quite often by the time you get them, they've got like 3 months on the use-by dates. But when my old...
It's still good.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not complaining, but I used to love them, and I used to get them all the time. And then the receptionist at one of my works, he went to the UK and he came back and he's like, Derek, I know you love these, so I bought you one especially. And they were fresh. Oh my God. Man.
Oh yeah, I know. Trust me, literally, me and Ellie, our second day there. So it was the first morning we went to, where did we go to? It was Poundland. because we needed some like toiletries and bits and bobs. So we're just walking about land, and it's like, and we know that it's going to run out on the way, rather than buying a big tub of it,
Yeah.
We just need something to last us while we're on the trip. And as we're walking through, and of course, you have to pass the snack section on the way to the toiletries, don't you? Mm-hmm. And it's like, ooh, quavers, yes please.
Quavers! I haven't had quavers in ages.
I know, so I had some quavers, and then Ellie spotted the prawn cocktail skips.
That was the weirdest thing. We had prawn cocktail, but they were prawn cocktail flavoured Walkers. And I was
she couldn't find them. She was looking for them. But she found skips, and she loved them.
Yeah, but I was like, what the freaking hell flavour is this? And I must say, like, I'm not a massive chip fan. Like, if I do, I'm either salt and vinegar or plain, just salted.
Mm.
I'm a simple bloke. That's what I like. But, like, I was like, these are actually not horrific.
It's one of those things, it's a staple of British children's diets is Walker's Crisps, and everyone has their flavour.
Yeah.
Apart from when it gets to Christmas. Because when it gets to Christmas, we all agree on the right flavour, which is... the Christmas turkey dinner one with stuffing.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that one.
Limited. It only ever comes out at Christmas for about a month. And it's like... But everyone goes mad on it.
Because I remember we used to get crisps, we used to get certain ones, and you used to get half a dozen Walker flavours. I think it was like 4 Walker flavours. And then there was, of course, the good old-fashioned Monster Munch, which pretty much feels like little kids' chips. But for some reason, men
little kids' chips.
But for some reason, men at pubs love them. And I can't figure out...
Because it is the classic pub snack that is there to keep your kids happy. And, of course... You're going to get one for your kid, and it's like, well, I'll get one for myself there. And then suddenly just everyone's locked in a loop.
Yeah, but we used to get this...
for your kid, and you can't get out.
What did we used to get? We used to get this cool honey roasted ham one. And that was the one that we got for Christmas. And I was like, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm more of a very simple fan where I just like salt, some good honest potato.
No, I was always the ready... I was tending to be the ready salted or the roast chicken in Walker's. But I did like Real McCoy's flame grilled steak, salt chips. They were really good. They were like really. You could taste the flavouring on them. That's how bad they were for you. But it was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, I know. Cherish loves some of those where they're like the. I don't know if they're copping though. What are they? Red Rock Deli, which are really good. Their flavours are normally quite good, but obviously to get there, they obviously use a lot of MSG, and she's. Yeah. MSG doesn't sit well with her, so you tend to find like she'll love the flavour of these chips, and then she'll drink like 17 litres of water, and then she'll feel like she's gone from a grape to a raisin in the matter of overnight. Like, it's the funniest thing. But I'm just like, my God.
Oh, right. Anyway, so the one big thing I didn't discuss from that holiday, and I might as well discuss it on this one, because that way at least they're all in order, then it'll tie everything up, was Legoland. For one thing I didn't discuss.
No, I thought you mentioned it, and then we changed somewhere.
I mentioned it, and then we went off on, famously on one of our tangents, and never came back.
That doesn't sound like us.
That doesn't sound like us. So literally we went to Legoland, it was the second to last day. So so the next day we were packing. Well, we pretty much got back from Legoland and did all our packing anyway. But it was kind of a day off, a relaxing day before having the hoo-ha of travel. So Legoland. I haven't been to Legoland since I was 10. So I was a year older than Edward is now. And it's really funny how time works because I can't really. I remember going.
Does that mean that technically next time you go back, you're going to have a grandkid?
Don't say that. Guys, do not say these things. Oh. Anyway, so
he's not getting married till he's 40.
No, too right. So what happened is that all I remember from my last time going was all I remember is getting my Lego driver's license. I remember doing that. That's a very vivid core memory. And then I remember walking around Miniland, which is where they've made all the different places of the world and sort of with iconic buildings and landmarks.
I am British Godzilla. Just start stomping through.
But like you go to Japan, you go to Sydney Opera Harbour and all that. It's hilarious how New Zealand's not in it. New Zealand's not in Miniland at all. It's hilarious. I was about to say we should be bringing that up.
It is weird though because I've noticed that with certain things. Like if there's like things that are known well in the world, like Sydney Opera House will be there. But then you'll find Melbourne probably won't be there, but it will just be part of the landmass kind of things. And I've noticed, depending on the touristy things, will depend on how it fits in. And because New Zealand doesn't have as much, they're like...
To be fair, there isn't... I mean, apart from Auckland Sky Tower, there isn't a... Oh my god, yeah, this is known worldwide. But it's like... Apart from what
about fucking Hobbiton?
I mean, yeah, you could have Hobbiton in it, I suppose. I suppose you could have Hobbiton, the Sky Tower, 90 Mile Beach, maybe.
We have a 90 Mile Beach. Toronto has a Sky Tower.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just Hobbiton.
There isn't really a well-known landmark that everyone would know. I mean, Hobbiton's probably the only one, but yeah. But that's the only thing I remember from my day and age. Obviously, I know there were rides and stuff because we were there the entire day, so there must have been. But obviously, just the core memories that I have is getting my Legos driver's license, which Edward did, and he loved it. He thought it was great. We even got his little lanyard and everything else. Got it printed out. He's got his little card. He's very happy.
Things like that. I think people don't realise just how much they mean to us as kids. Like, they seem stupid, they seem like a piece of paper, but it's something that just seems to hit home and it makes us feel special.
They've upgraded now, brother. It's not paper anymore, it's an actual plastic card. It's actually proper. They've made a proper, miniature Legoland driver's license.
Tell me you got one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we forked out for it. It was a core memory for us, so mate. We did it.
No, for you. I want you to get one.
Oh no! If you're you're only allowed up on the ride until the age of 13. So sadly, no adults are allowed on the Lego.
It's probably not a bad thing you took Edward now, though, because
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it was one of those things. So yeah, so we did that. But no, we went there with my mother-in-law, and it was her original proposal of the day was she was going to kind of follow us around and jump in the queue and help us out and do all that jazz. And we kind of went off, Ellie and her had a big look and made a list of all the rides they wanted to do. Basically we had to look at the wait times because we downloaded the Legoland Windsor app and it tells you, what the wait times are. And it actually tells you before they've updated all the boards. So actually, suddenly if you realise, the board says 30 minutes, but it says 10 on here, let's get there now quickly before everyone else realises.
That's kind of cool. So it gives you a chance to leg it over there.
It gives you a time to plan out your day and work out where you want to go and stuff like that. Because we have to give, towards the end of the day, you were like, right, Edward, we've probably only got time for one more thing. We either go to Lego Ninjago, which is an hour, or we can go back on the Green Dragon, and do the Dragon Ride again, which was the first one. This is the big roller coaster one. And he was like, actually, yeah, let's just do the Dragon one. Said, I'd rather do that. Because he was like, we could do that and then we had time to go to the shop properly rather than... he knew that if we did the hour wait, it was going to be hour wait over in 10 minutes, and we've only got 20 minutes to go to the shop and have a quick look.
That is the hardest thing. Like, I know, these chappies are amazing, but they're fucking sharp. Like, how they're really nice and crispy. When you bite into them, they just seem to shard, and I'm like, I don't think I have a roof in my mouth, so if something starts dripping down, it's probably just blood, so don't be stressed.
Don't be stressed.
Don't be stressed, it's fine. But no, it is kind of weird though, like with some of these parks where you're like, I want to go to the shop, but then you're like, I got to wait an hour. It's over in 3 minutes. And I remember when I went, one of the things that obviously I got told, which they've now since changed, was obviously take a walking stick or take a crutch, and they'll push you through because it's against health and safety. Where now you actually get a special pass that you scan.
Yes,
but
correct.
An app like that would be amazing because I noticed that as soon as I walked into Disneyland when I was in there in LA. You walk in and it's like, wow, all this thing. First ride on your left-hand side as you walk in is the Jungle Cruise. So I'm like, sweet, let's go there. Like, rather than look around, I'm like, fuck it, it's right there, let's do that. And as soon as I went there, it was kind of like the queue was probably, like if I had to have wait for it, it probably would have been about 40, 45 minutes, and the thing had just opened. But then the other side of the park would have been dead. And I did notice that as you go around, if you go around either this way or this way, you tend to find that it does get busy. But if you start at the top and work your way through, you actually only... It's only when you hit people.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what, it's one of these things, because I've not been to a theme park since I was a teenager, like, properly. Because like we went when we were at uni, but we didn't care because we're there for the day and all that jazz. But like actually going, you don't realize how much you've got to nowadays. You've got to kind of go right. We're going to X Park. Here's all the rides. Which ones do we want to go on? And you've got to kind of look. Well, this one is probably going to be the one that fills up first. So we've really got to get there either first thing, or we just got to chat, or we're going to play the queue game and stuff like that. So we did loads of things like that.
It really is.
We did plan it out, and it was quite good actually that we did plan it out because we just cracked on and got it all done.
That's what I said though. Like if they really wanted to get Osama bin Laden earlier, what they should have done is just got a mother with 4 kids to plan that like she was going to a theme park. Like that war on Iraq, 20 minutes tops, it would have been over.
20 minutes tops. No, you're not getting the oil fields. We have been, there's no time for the oil fields.
And then it was like, no, Obama, you're coming with us. And but it would have been surgical strikes. That's one thing. Like I remember watching this lady take out a map and go, okay, so we've got here, 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 and here. So if we go here, we can do this one. But then if we do that one on the way, we're going to be like this one. Maybe if we go that one, we do this. And I'm like, I've played American football. There's 120 offensive plays I needed to know. What you've just explained confused me because it's more strategic than American football.
It is. So Ellie had already planned out everything we would do. She said, right, here's the top 3 rides that we need to go on for the day. But we'll start off on this one because this one tends to have the worst queues. And I was like, right, great, fab. My wife had planned it to a T, so I was like, great. I was along for the ride and just I was walking director. Because I had the app down, so it actually had the routes for you as well. So if you wanted to go to a ride, it said, "Do you want the route?" Yep. So it would take you through cut-throughs and stuff, and I'm like, sweet, happy days. So yeah, so Legoland was immense. We took obviously my mother-in-law ended up on the Green Dragon ride with us. Bear in mind, she's of an age now, and she's never been to a theme park in her life. She's never been on a roller coaster in her life.
What?
And yes, yeah. Well, different age, generational, and she's never took Ellie to one when she was a kid or anything like that sort of thing. So, but yeah, but the
that's
fact is,
child abuse, mate. Get it.
But sticking her on, I'll tell you now, the Green Dragon ride. Okay, it's not exactly the Nemesis or the Oblivion, but I tell you what, it goes at some speed and some twists and turns. And she was screaming, poor woman. She sat next to me, and I felt so bad. I said, Tash, you could just walk off. You don't have to come on. She went, no, come on. Oh, come on. I'm like, okay.
This is just
we ended up also. We also ended up. I'll tell you one thing. One thing was really nice as well. Is as we're walking back through, we ended up on the log flume ride.
Which one's that?
So it takes you through. I can't remember. It's this pirate quest thing. It's called or treasure quest. But basically, they as you go along, it takes you along, and then eventually you go through a log flume drop. Fine.
Oh, yeah, and the water goes up, and they take the photo.
As you're going along, you're getting soaked by bloody Lego rats and pirates and everything else shooting water at you. Which is fine, but I'll tell you what, it was a hot day. This was, scorching. We were in, the high 20s. And for England, that's ridiculous. So actually, we got on there. We got soaked, but it was the second ride of the day. We were dry by ride 4. By ride 4, we were bone dry. It was hilarious.
That's what I always said. I'm like, either get wet late or get wet early if you know it's going to be a warm day.
You get wet at the start of the day. Start of the day.
Oh no, I'm saying if you know it's going to be a nice day, but yeah. Oh man.
So yeah. So we ended up doing the park, and then we ended up going to the Lego store that's there. I'll tell you one thing. One thing that was really good about my entire holiday was unique Pokestops for Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, you would have got those all the time.
Literally the width and breadth of England. I was on Pokemon Go spinning Pokestops. My unique Pokestop count went up by over 1,000.
Well, that's the weirdest thing. That's the one thing I do hate about this sometimes. Is it's like, oh, you've been to this Pokestop. I was like, yeah, but I was there and I didn't get a heart for my pet for it. I didn't get this for it. Why not just let me friggin' have a few later down the track? But I'm like, damn it.
Oh no. But yeah, it was really sweet. It was so I ended up. But yeah, Legoland's full of them. I was literally going around and I was literally walking places, and there's only 2 or 3 gyms in the entire park, but they're all spread out. But there's hundreds of Pokestops all the way through the park. So literally you're walking, spin, dump my bag out of all the Pokeballs, spin.
Well, that's
because I've just. Yeah, I was just doing it purely just to get the unique Pokestops, and to be there was a community. Go Fest Community Day was on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Luckily, I landed. We were at Petersfield when we got back, and it was the day before. And I was like, great. So I went out and walked, and of course, I spotted the Pokemon Go players because they're all walking around with wires into power banks in their pockets.
What I don't understand though is, man, that's the thing that kills me about this place is I go around and occasionally when I go to High Point, which is this massive shopping centre, you'll find that the gyms will pop, and as they pop, you'll have 5 people that will join everyone. But other than that, and even when I play there, because it's 2 or 3 levels in some areas, sometimes they can be at the top and you're at the bottom, so you don't see any of them. So I've got this quest now where I need to get a lucky Pokemon. But no one to trade with, and that fucks me off.
Well, you have to wait until we meet up again, and then we'll lucky trade.
I know, but it's just annoying more than anything, but no.
Oh, no, it is. But, no, to be fair, what was... So I was really lucky in the fact that I met up with them and said, are you doing... Because they all said, are you coming for Rayquaza tomorrow? And I said, yes, I am. Said, where are you meeting and stuff like that. So, I ended up talking to them. I spent the day walking around with them, and I'm doing trades with them, and I said, look, does anyone need any regional variants? Because I've got some... Because I went through San Francisco, and I picked up a couple of Oricocos and all this jazz sort of thing.
Do I have Oricoco?
So I'm
I don't know what they are.
Oh, it's one of the bird that changes its form. So it starts off, like, the standard one for us is the hula form.
Oh, yeah,
So
I got one of those.
Hula. But I've now got the pom-pom form. And there's another form. There's another one as well.
I want a pom-pom form.
I'll trade that one to you. By the time we meet up, it'll be lucky. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up getting some of them, and I ended up trading some other bits and bobs to them. And so my trade count obviously went up, which was fine, but the distance covered count skyrocketed because it's halfway across the world. So I think I went up from like not even a bronze to halfway on gold by the end of one day, just because of the handful of trades that I did do. So I was like,
insane.
But yeah, so yeah, it was an absolute blast doing that, and Legoland was really good. The store at Legoland, as you can imagine, is immense.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it'd be like, Warcraft World on crack.
Yes, it is literally you walk in, and they've got pretty much any set you want, as well as a couple of exclusives. To be fair, there was one exclusive set at Warhammer World that I wanted, but I knew I wouldn't fit in the case. It's for a command tank upgrade sprues for a Land Raider and a Rhino, but you get all the sprues. It's not just the. I wish it was just the upgrade sprue.
Yeah.
But no, it's the actual. You get a full Land Raider and a full Rhino included. I'm like,
I would have taken those.
Yeah, but I can't fit it in the case. I knew how much room I had, and I knew I literally we were overpacked on one case when we got to the airport. Yeah, that's how close it was. But yeah, it's all the goodies I bought you, Des.
Nah, man, I didn't even want you to buy me anything. I felt horrible.
Well, you didn't want me to buy it, but I don't care. But anyway, so yeah, listen. For those of you, I did buy Des some things, just a couple of things. That's all it was. But I've told him that when he gets his package, which should be this week coming,
yes,
that he's not to open it, and we'll open it live on the thing. So
well, what was weird though is I got well excited because I got a knock on the door today, and I was like, ooh. And I ran out there and I got a package, but it wasn't what you had sent me.
Yeah.
So it was a new pair of headsets that just sounds insane. So if anybody doesn't know, I have a review site, but I'm not going to go into this. But this is what they call. So it's called OpenFit, and the brand is called. It's SHKZ. Shocks is how I would pronounce it, but I don't know if that's SHOKZ. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that would be Shocks.
But what it is though is it's not an inner ear one. It actually sits on the outside of the ear, just here. So it wraps around your ear, like the ones that I had that were one of my favourite ones when I grew up. So when I grew up,
so a bit like gym fancy.
Yeah.
Ones,
so what's weird though is I had those where they went around my ear and then they had a big massive thing in. These ones just go around your ear and then sit just on the little ear thing here, that whatever it's called, and sits there. And
The
they're
nub, I don't know, actually, I have no idea what that bit's called. I always call it the nub. Well, I know it's not
my ear nub. We'll call it the ear nub, just because it sounds funnier in the English accent. But what it actually is it's actually... So what happens is you can still hear, and I'm excited to actually play with them, but you can actually still hear the outside world. Like, there's no...
The tragus is what it's called.
The tragus.
This bit.
Oh, I should have known that. Yeah, my friend's got that pierced, of course.
The tragus.
Yeah.
And then this bit is the concar and tragus.
Blimey, and this is why we do a podcast.
The more you know.
This is why we do a podcast and aren't doctors. But what it actually does, though, is it's an open-ear design, so it's meant to be more comfortable, and it allows you to hear it outside the world. But what it actually does is it's actually bone conductive. So the idea is that...
Oh, it's one of those ones.
So
yeah.
I'm like hella excited. So when they asked me, they're like, do you want to do this? I was like, yes. And then, but when it came, like, I was like, the box was probably about this big. And I was like...
Yeah.
I have a feeling that that's not what Jordan sent me. And then I had a look on the back and it came from Australia. So I was like, yeah, it's definitely not that. But yeah, it actually vibrates through the bone, and that's how you hear it.
Well, that's how they've got
the bionic ears.
The what do they call it? Semi-conductive.
They're not called bionic ears. They're called...
They're for deaf people, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's the thing attaches. My brother has a friend who's got one.
Yeah, Big Sam has one. It's like a bionic ear where it actually connects, but it's weird because it's got a thing back here, sort of like a hearing aid, but then it connects to about there in your head, and it's like, it's so cool. But this is what this is. I'm hella excited. I'm like, I don't think this is what Jordan's, so I'm safe to open this. But yeah, I'm excited because I just hope that I open it up and it's just a whole heap of sausage rolls that have gone bad, but I'd still eat them. I'd be like, just dust off the mold and still eat them.
But yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, so so Legoland was great, and then we obviously had a bit of a chill day. But yeah, Pokemon Go Fest was interesting. It was very busy that day. Literally, because I told the wife it was bank holiday weekend, and there was a big there was a local festival on at Petersfield anyway, so there was music live and everything else. So I literally spent a couple hours just walking around Petersfield Town Centre with a bunch of randoms who I've never met before.
That's kind of cool.
Trading regionals and literally walking. I did so many raids. So many raids. But yeah, we were maxing out raids and everything. It was so fun.
So I didn't realise there was a maximum of raids if you were in person. I just thought it was... Yeah. Oh... I actually just thought it was... No,
apparently the max lobby is 20 people.
Oh, no, I knew that because I've been invited... Like, I've gone on to that iRaid one where it tells you, this is what it is, and you're like, sweet. And then you go on there and and it kills me because they invite like 5 people, send you an invite, you go, and they're like, oh, no, too many people have invited, and you realise there's 4 or 5 of them there that are all invited 5 people.
Yeah. The issue is that they only allow so many people to remote raid as well.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think the limit of remote raid is like 5 or 6. It's something like that. It's not a huge number.
You say that, but then one of the guys that I used to play with when it first started, when we got beta access, both of us found this app, and then we did the same thing where we posted, raided a whole heap of people, and both of us were able to invite 5. But yeah, I've been in a couple of ones recently, and I love it because I've got a few guys in Asia now that I'm like 4 or 5 star friends with, so they just invite me now, and it's fantastic because there's normally like 13 or 14 of us in there. So whenever I've got raids, I sometimes message them on that campfire and just be like, I've got more passes, so yell out when you want to do things, and I just get invites and I just run into them and go, yes.
Sweet. Awesome. Great. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, I do like the campfire app. I also like that I've now been given access, because I think it's because I'm part of the Wayfinder program. So I'm like an admin. I can approve the Pokestops that people submit.
How did you do that?
Look, you don't need to know these things, all right? I just, I
just am.
I just am, all right? No, I signed up for it, and I got access to it, so I just started doing it. But I've now been given, I can now create routes. I know it's been slowly getting rolled out across everyone, but now I can create routes, because, like, in my...
Jordan is the route master.
Where I am now, there is no routes at all, and I was like, well... Let's fix that. Let's put in at least one route.
Yeah.
I've submitted it, but it's not been approved yet. But it will get approved because I've done a very basic one, which is walking through town centre He covers all the main shops, sort of thing. So, it's a bit of a rural one.
Yeah.
And I've already got the next idea for the next one I'm going to do, which is from, like, the golf club Pokestop, which I created, which I got approved. I'm going to walk all the way to the rugby club, so it's going to be the sports walk, I'm going to call it, sort of thing.
Yeah, I actually had some pop up. Hang on, I think I actually had some pop up in the last. Like I literally had clicked on it this morning, and there's 5 around. Hang on, sorry, party people.
What?
We're talking Pokemon Go. I know, deal with it. Yeah, there's 5 from my house.
Yeah.
There's the reserve one. There's the Paco footy ground, and what's funny too though is both of them pretty much are the same route. So you can pretty much. Yeah. So one of them starts at the bottom of the park, and you walk around the park, but the footy ground's like right in the middle. Or the Paco footy one is literally just around the ground. So I'm like, I might do that later. There's Let's Party at Purdy, which is really weird because it doesn't seem to actually go anywhere but randomly somebody's house. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's just a mate going to somebody's house.
Probably.
It's just kind of like it literally just looks like that. Short walk to the RSL and Pasco Vale round the loop.
Okay.
But
Sounds
yes,
great.
but they're just like stupid ones.
So Pokemon Go. I'm really enjoying Pokemon Go at the moment, sort of thing, and I got a lot of benefits with traveling. I was really annoyed though. Do you want to really mugged me off, right? Because I knew that I was going via San Francisco. So when we flew out, it was the stupid Poliwag event that I completed, and I totally forgot how time works. And of course, I was going to go back a day. So essentially, I landed at San Francisco and had to do the Poliwag event again. And I'm like, no, I want regional variants. I don't want stupid Poliwag. I can get Poliwag whenever I want. So I was livid about that. But flying back, I thought, great opportunity, right? I've got 7 hours at this airport. I've got the greatest opportunity known to man. I'm going to put incenses and lures down. I'm going to maximise as many regional variants as possible, right? Only one regional spawned, which is fine. After I went through security and it's on the other side and I'm not able to get to it, I was fucking livid. Absolutely livid. The entire time I walked through, nothing. Incense, everything going. I did everything I could do to make sure before we went through security that I would get a regional. Nothing. We get through the thing, do all that jazz, do all our duty free, check on the thing. Ooh, regional. It's what I think was Throw, whatever, the big sumo red guy sort of thing. And I'm like, ooh, sweet, I need him because I know he's region locked. And I thought, right, I don't know, because of course when you look at the map and you don't know where, because obviously it's a terminal building, you're like, I think that's just up there, I'll have a wander. So I'm wandering, and then it's like, this is security. Where's it at? Oh, it's about 400 yards that way. And I was like, God, I was so angry. I said to the person, I said, look, listen, I have to ask you a question. Is there any chance I can go out of security and come back in? And they went, do you have your passport with you? I went, no. Mm-hmm. And they went, no, you're not allowed. And I said, why? And she went, well, once you've already checked in. I went, yes. And she went, right, you're not allowed to leave the terminal. I'm like, I was just livid. I was so angry. But yeah. So anyway, apart from that, I had a good Pokemon Go experience the entire holiday.
Oh, that is heartbreaking.
I was livid.
Yeah.
Livid, Dez. Livid. But the best thing is about my trip was actually just getting to do all these unique Pokestops.
Yeah, I know.
It's the reason why I actually saved one of the Legoland ones to send to you. I was actually getting you to open your gift. Which then you realise, I need to open a gift from Jordan. And I was like, right, I'm going to send him this Legoland one.
Do I still have it? I probably still have it, eh?
You probably do still
have
it.
Because I noticed that after we became, like, whatever it was, best friends or whatever the 5-star was, you just kind of went, fuck off, I'm not sending you shit anymore, and you wouldn't accept anything. So I was like...
It's because I have to level up everyone else.
So I was like, fine, screw you, hippie. And then, hang on, I can't even find it. Where's the app? Oh, that's a good sign.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Oh, no! Breaking news for right now as we filmed it, probably not in 3.5 weeks when we release this. Hugh Jackman and his wife just broke up.
So what you're saying is there's a chance for you.
There is a chance. So 27 after 27 years, Because he's been spending a lot of time in America, and she's been doing a lot of the stuff for the national adoption here in Australia.
He's been spending a lot of time with Ryan as well.
That is true.
You know,
maybe him and Blake Lively will break up, and then we'll finally have it. Wolverine and Deadpool.
Wolverine together for the best of friends forever.
Jesus Christ, that'd be a nightmare. But it's kind of funny. So so that's unfortunate. After 27 years, they've gone their separate ways, even though they have said that they are it's very amicable and they still plan on being friends and raising things. It's just at the moment they're in different places and they're trying to grow as humans. I was like, that's cute.
Quite literally, they're in different places.
Yes. So.
Well, that's very sad to hear, but yeah. So
but it was a chance.
It was a good trip overall, and I'm just glad to be back now, and we've been cracking on this week. It's been, I'll tell you what, it's hilarious how you leave your work for 6 weeks and you figured that everyone's on top of everything. No, I've been slammed this week. Yeah. It's not even been funny. Literally, I've not even had a chance to respond to half a dozen people who've been messaging me. I'm like, literally by the time I remember, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I cannot be bothered.
That's the thing that kills me about jobs, is they're like, teach this person X to do your role while you're gone. If you're lucky, you may get them to say that, and you're like, okay, cool. And then by the time you come back, it's like there isn't even like a tenth of the stuff there. So I come back, and all the relaxation I got on the holidays, I'm now 10 times as stressed because I've got to sort your shit out.
Yeah, well, they told me the week I was going that they were covering the payment side of things, so they have to, obviously, which is fine. So they did all that, which is great. But all the quality side, they were gonna action it, but they weren't gonna record all the data. They were gonna action it in a way so I could come back and see it all, and therefore update all the spreadsheets and everything else. Which is great, but then you realise that it takes, because you've been away for 6 weeks and there's been so many raids, it literally took me 2 days to get on top.
Jesus Christ.
It took 2 days and I barely got any payments done. And they're like, why have you not done any payments? I went, do you realise how much work I've got?
Because of this. Leave me alone. Because of this, right here.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, it is kind of weird though.
I was very busy for 2 days, but I am very glad now that, the end is near for all that jazz, which is good. Nearly caught up and everything else, which is all sweet.
It's kind of crazy though. Like that's the thing that kills me, and that's one thing I sometimes hate about jobs. Is I'm like, why am I even going away? Like I'm going away to take some holidays to de-stress, just to come back to do everything. And I know that unless it's going to cause like some kind of like bushfire or torch the entire place down, they'll do it then. Otherwise, it's just going to be you can do it when you get back. No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's it is one of these things of sort of you gotta work. I do like to put things in place so it's very easy for people to do my role while I'm away.
Yeah.
But the problem is that you have to. I realise that not everyone has a grasp of logic like I do.
Yeah, I'm not the most logical person, and even I'm like, bro, like that wasn't that hard. How did you screw that up? Like.
Oh yeah, I know, but yeah, it's just one of those things where but no, it is glad. I mean, yeah. Overall, no, we're glad to be back in the swing of things now, and it's nice. I tell you what, it's nice to actually see my lawn has grown. As I said, from through the video cameras, it was good to see the grass was growing. But I've
just got this picture of you sitting in England, being pissed out of your head, just on. Oh, look, it grew.
Well, no.
It grew.
No, what it was, of course, is of course, our neighbours and stuff were coming to check in on the property for us, which absolute godsends they were.
Good neighbours are the best things in the world. Like I feel like they're worth their weight in gold.
They are worth their weight in gold. They were lovely. Our neighbours. So they came and kept an eye on the place and did a walk around to make sure everything was all secure and stuff like that. Which is, again, top notch. And about to say, so of course they would trigger. Obviously, they're walking around, so it would trigger the cameras. So of course we wake up and like, we've got 2 alerts. Let's have a quick look, and then so of course we see Jeff and Carol walking, but he's like, "Oh, look, the grass is growing! The grass is growing out!" Because of course all the grass that he got laid the week we were going, and it's like, right, well, things are either going to be growing or it's going to be barren by the time we get back. We cannot do anything. We have to pray, and I mean pray that it tips it down the entire 6 weeks.
And it sounds like it has been.
Well, we did find out, because every time we looked at the cameras, it was glorious weather, like proper sunshine and everything, and we're like, why did we come away on holiday? But then we found out that in between those days that it was triggering, it was horrific downpours and everything, and which we did notice when we did get back, and we suddenly realised how wet the ground was, because obviously we have a big clear layer underneath the topsoil, so you can generally tell how wet it's been, depending how soggy your set foot is. But yeah, so yeah, no, it was all good, and yeah, but about to say, it's nice to see that things have cracked on. Although I'm going to be really busy tomorrow because the wife's hired, because she's been to the plant shop. She went to the plant shop,
this could be
the
dangerous.
garden centre. I can think of the words, the plant shop. So she went to the garden centre today, and she's already bought. She's like, right, I've bought half a dozen plants. I went, right, great. I went, when you say half a dozen, like, how big are we talking? She went, some of them are fairly large. I'm like, oh.
Just walking in with just a giant palm tree. You're like,
and I was like, right. She said, I think I might need to hire an auger. And I went, is there that? So there's more than half a dozen.
Oh my god!
And so there's more than half a dozen. Then she went, just a few more than half a dozen. I was like,
He's like, that's it. I'm getting another Warlord Titan.
But yeah, so she ended up going. So luckily there's a hire spot just up the road in our town, and he's like a local guy, and he hires out, and he's really good rates anyway, sort of thing. So I said, ring him and see if he's got his auger available, sort of thing, and then we can get it done tomorrow, and then pick it up tomorrow, and we'll do it. We'll do it as a Sunday job, sort of thing. But luckily he shuts on Sunday, so he said, look, pick it up today. I'll charge a half a day rate, and you can drop it off first thing Monday morning. I was like, sweet. Great, I'll do it. So he's gone and picked it up, and so tomorrow I've got to be up. I'm going to be up early, and I'm going to be drilling holes all through the garden.
Far out.
Why
is it? And that's one thing I've noticed, because my brother has the same issue, and a few of my other friends. Is they're like, why is it that my wife decides that we're going to work on X, Y, or Z, and all that means is that she's organising it. If I'm lucky, she'll go out and do all the shopping because she doesn't trust me to pick stuff. Then I have to spend the next 4 weekends trying to do all the stuff.
Oh yeah, no, it is one of these things of, I don't think women got the memo that apparently God on the seventh day took a rest. Yeah. Just saying.
That explains why my friend became Catholic. Yeah, that's why my friend called a Catholic. Can't work. It's a Sabbath. It's like, no, it's not how that works.
God, brother, I wish it was. Anyway. But anyway, right. I've just realised how long we're rambling, and we are just rambling now. There's nothing much to report.
We have spoken about snacks. We've spoken about Thingo. But one thing I do want to get you to do, because I absolutely adored this, either this episode or next episode, is watch One Piece, the live action.
Oh, is this on Netflix? It keeps popping up as recommended.
I absolutely loved it. Like, I have nothing to recall it on. And this is the thing that scares me. So, Cherish, one time before I went to work, just went, there's a new show on Netflix, I'm going to watch One Piece. And I'm thinking to myself, this is an anime, or a live action from an anime. She's going to get 20 minutes in, and it'll be done. She literally came back the day after I got home and just went, oh my God, it's amazing. I've watched all 8 episodes. We need to rewatch it. Which she says to me from time to time about series, and then it never happens. But she's actually set away, so at dinner we obviously watch a show. So we've been watching One Piece. For about an hour. So the point is she finished it and then 3 days later rewatched the entire series because she loved it so much. And I must say, I loved it. Every part of me wants there to be a sequel. So the first one, there are a few things that people are like, oh, we're not sure, and this, that, with the writer's strike and whatnot. And there's also, I think the first season cost $144 million to make, which is quite high. So, but I've been told it covers from, I think it's episode 1 to about episode 96 to 100. Which, if anybody has watched One Piece, we spoke about it this the other day, where it goes for like 17 or 18 days straight.
Yeah, there's 1,000 and something episodes.
Yeah, 1,076, I think there is.
That's not even including the movies. Yeah. I think there's like 26 anime movies or whatever. It's like...
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I thought Pokemon was bad. for series,
It is
but
pretty good.
One Piece takes the cake, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely takes the cake. Yeah.
But yes, so I actually fell in love with it, and the guy that
Okay.
the young actor that plays Luffy is amazing, and I'm just like, you've got to watch it. It's so good.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you what. I will aim to watch it either before next podcast or have it all done before at least 2.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a couple, but for anybody that hasn't watched it, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It is just a lot of fun.
Apart from, I'll tell you now, one of our actual listeners, him and his missus are working their way through One Piece, the actual anime. So I know he's not going to even think about betraying that.
Or he's going to hear me talk about it, or he's going to watch it afterwards, and then he's probably going to abuse
He might have to
me.
say, yeah. Well, the fact is that I know that the One Piece series on Netflix only covers, I think it's like the first arc. And
Yes,
he's
it's
like
96.
I don't know.
So pretty
Yeah.
much it ends at. So I think they start in the North Blue, no, the East Blue, and it pretty much ends as they've gone through the East Blue, which supposedly is 96 to 98 episodes in.
Okay, yeah, they're well beyond that, so we should be fine. But I'm sure he'll listen to the podcast. But yeah, he'll probably say, no, we're not watching any live action nonsense until we're up to date.
Man, I don't care. It is next level. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so much fun, like to the point where I still probably wouldn't watch the anime. But that being said, the actual don't care.
Now the question is, right? Hang on, right. So if and this would be a big if, obviously. But say Netflix did because I know the anime that I got you onto and tried out was Overlord, which you enjoyed, sort of thing. You said you enjoyed it.
I watched like 3 episodes.
Hmm?
I watched like 3 episodes.
You haven't even watched the full thing.
No. I watched like 3 episodes. They were good.
You're like so disappointing, Des. Like seriously, there's 4 seasons and it is all immense.
I know,
It's
but
so
I watched the
good.
first 3 episodes. I watched maybe it was like 2.5. But I liked it. Like, but I just don't have time.
You don't have time, honest to God.
Like-
You don't have time. Anime is 20 minutes long. It's 20 minutes, Des.
I know, but it
It's
just
the best thing about anime. Anime, unless it's a movie, it's always 2 minutes, 23 minutes.
I know, but it was
maximum.
just I don't know.
Anyway, we'll end the podcast on this shocking note that Des is an absolute failure to enjoy the appreciation that is anime. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us, as we said, available on all good podcast websites and forums. If we're not available, please let us know. We are available on social media via TikTok
Yes.
and Twitter at Dorks Down Under, and as well as all the podcasts can be found at Dorks Down Under as well. Please tweet, message, like, share, subscribe, get all the AI algorithms working and whatnot. In fact, that's one thing I wanted to discuss this episode, but we're not. But I've totally realised that we've skipped that. But we'll go on to it next episode. It's fine.
Glad we can.
I wanted to discuss the AI DJ on Spotify and how cool it is. But anyway, we'll discuss that next.
AI
next
DJ.
podcast. Oh yeah, well you have to look into it. It's really good. Anyway.
I won't
Anyway,
lie. I just got on ChatGPT, and that's kind of been a lot of fun. I find it's really easy when I write something, and I was like, I need this to sound more corporate, and I like just corporify this shit, and it just like ta-da, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of fun. I don't think it's
Nice.
ever going to take over, but I like it.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I am Jordan, joined by my co-host Dez, and we are Dogs Down Under. Thank you very much for tuning in, and peace.
Laters.